Hello, let's see if this works. I'm getting really tired of all this. Alright, this is my first attempt at a tutorial. I'm going to go through the basics of just not so much making a skin, but in how I use my base. Maybe give you some ideas, and that would be my alarm to wake me up hour after I woke up. Anyway, got this here. Now, as you can see on this side, got a bunch of different layers. Each one controls a different aspect in case I need to use different segments of the skin. Like, where's one? Like, different feet are some of the main ones, and the ones that I actually need in this case. There, around here you'll see the neck I use for my tomato. There we go. Then we're going to remove the background layer, leaving all of this pretty much as a transparency. I'm going to come to that in a moment. This is the skin we're going to be working on. It's Astonishing Colossus. The reason I chose this skin is because A, it's one that I kind of want to do because only one I have is like a kit bash of C6's stuff, and 2, because I don't really care if I finish it or not. I had a problem doing another tutorial because I was actually going to do the skin, and if you're doing a skin for a tutorial and trying to actually complete it in this lifetime, you will fail. So, here we go. We're going to start off with the red, because the red's probably the easiest, and it's the one that's going to give you an idea going in. There's some basic reds that I'm going to put down. I'm more than likely going to be adjusting these. In fact, that's kind of the point. I'd like to adjust a lot of these so you can see how it's done and why I do it the way I do it. Going to make a mask using my base layer from the source opacity, and I'm not going to invert it. Inverting it comes later. So just this needs to be a bit darker. I'm going to fill it with a low opacity, see if I can't. Again, and I'm checking against my base as I'm doing this. Looks okay. I want to adjust the contrast here. Make my highlight not that much. Let's see how it worked before. Yeah. I like that. Pops a lot more. Okay, that's red. As you can see, I can basically go through and just, if I want this to be green, I can fill it in any type of opacity of green and do whatever I want to it. Meaning, if I want to change something later, I can go through and just do that without having all the fun times for my base. And I'm just going to merge that down, start with the next color. Next color we're going to do is silver. So let's run through that. I'm just going to do some basic silver. This one's going to be a little bit more complicated because I'm going to use a third mask, and it's going to be the same stuff, but I'm going to adjust it a little bit. So let's get this one in place, and then I'm going to do a white layer with. We're just going to have a huge contrast. It's going to be my super highlight. So we're going to go through that and turn this off because I want to get. Looking at C6's skin, let's add a little bit of a blue in here. More than that. Not that much. just the brightness and contrast here. Pop. Okay. Then gonna add a white contrast here. Now that is gonna need to be super. See, what we're going for here is that the white is going to be like the smallest portion of it, but it's going to be a strong highlight. Give it that more metallic sheen. I think I'm going to go through and change these a bit, make it a bit. Looks good. Maybe darken this. Pair it to my base. I like it. Alright. That was a little bit more complicated, and but even as you can see, you can tell, even with more complicated, it's a bit simpler than going through a different color. And then the final color that we're going to do today is going to be yellow, which is the bane of most Skinner's existence. I'm going to go through and I'm going to make this almost a 2 red-orange to start with my base. Full of this. And then bright yellow, and then I'm going to end with a white highlight on top. More or less like I did with the metal. Okay. Now, as we can already tell, that a bit too much. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to make it. That. Not that much. Okay. Looks okay. Adjust the contrast on my yellow, make it maybe a bit less contrasted. Okay, good for that. No, I don't want to merge group because I need to adjust it later when I add in my yellow highlights. Layers, mouse layer, from image, PSP image. Kind of like that. So we're just gonna merge this. And here we have a yellow, a silver, and a red. Now I might be adjusting some of these later depending upon what I need, what it looks like on the skin, but I'm too lazy to pull up Character Studio right now, so I'm just going to leave them. Save this as my PSP image. Obviously I'm using PaintShop Pro. Your equivalent would be Photoshop if you're using that, or your equivalent would be PSD, sorry. Obviously I use your software so much, Adobe. Yeah. And that's it. Bye-bye now.